132-pound weight class coming to you right now. Weight class that's, kind of, it's hard to explain in words, where you have some real tough guys here, and there's a clear, one or two, maybe three guys in the same level, and then there's a lot of just tough guys that are gonna duke it out in those wrestlebacks for those last 2 or 3 spots. So, without further ado, we're gonna jump right in. First things first, we'll go over top 4 seeds. We got Chase Barlow out of the South, a returning state qualifier from Strathaven, just a sophomore and 26-4 on the year. The 2 seed is Quinn Tobin, also returning state qualifier from Springford. He's a senior who's 36-8 on the season. The 3 seed returning state qualifier is Zach Martin from the Shaman, who's 28-2. And the 4 seed out of the West, Trent Kokersberger from Kennett. He's a junior. He's 36-3. Looking in the first round here, there's a match or two that sticks out. For me, PJ Kakos and Zach Lewis, I think would be a good one. But as you see there, I got Lewis getting out. Just go down from top to bottom. Barlow wins in the first round. Lewis wins. Isaiah Tucker from Norristown and TJ England from William Tennant. Previously unbeaten TJ England up until last week when he lost to Zach Martin. I think England gets back to his winning ways and takes out Tucker. Then you have Jacob Finley from Interborough and Trent Kokersberger. As I talked about, Kokersberger, champ from the West. I think he wins to get in that quarterfinal round. Zach Martin beats Josh Cerrito from Pottsgrove. Kevin Quinn and Matt Fritz, the West 3 and the South 2. I got Fritz winning from Wissahickon, getting out in that quarterfinals. Then you have Jack Leto and Josh Villarengo. Despite what Half Nelson says, Jack Leto, I got Villarengo beating him. The junior from Westchester Ruston. Down the bottom there, Rocky Moretti from Pennsbury and Tobin. I got Tobin winning there. So now as we get in these quarterfinal round, and we got some pretty good matchups here, Barlow and Lewis, I think it's going to be a really good match, but I'm gonna go with the guy who's been there before. Chase Barlow, coming off that freshman year, which we saw him make it to States. He missed some time early on, healing from an injury that I believe was football related. And I got Barlow getting back to those winning ways, looking to make that punch that ticket to get back to Hershey, putting himself one step further. Then the England Kokersberger match. Kokersberger is wrestling well right now. Had to win over Villarengo last week in the finals out in the West tournament. But England, he's been a hammer all year, and he's gonna show it again in that quarterfinal as he beats Kokersberger. Martin Fritz. I'm running with Martin on this one just because, Martin just seems poised to have a breakout year. He missed some time down the stretch. He was a little bit sick and during district duels, so we didn't get to see him wrestle there. But, he's just he just keeps coming at you. I like his style, the way he attacks, and he's always closes the gap and stays in your face. And Villarengo Tobin is probably the marquee matchup in this weight class in the quarterfinals. How I'm gonna go with Tobin again. Just wrestling very well this year. We could talk about so many different things he's done. He's just been very, very model consistency in that Springford program his whole career. Like you said, he's coming off a year which he was a state qualifier, as was Villarengo. But I like Tobin to win here, and we got these semi set up with Barlow and England and Martin and Tobin. I'm just gonna. I think England gets to the final and sets up a rematch with Zach Martin. This is a rematch from last week at the East tournament. In the semis, that was won by Martin, and then we go here. I think it gets flipped, and England wins the 132-pound bracket here and becomes your regional champ. And like I said, I mentioned earlier, gets back to his winning ways, which he was accustomed to. I think that loss might have been a good thing for him to kind of refocus and get him back on the straight and narrow. And times it could be losses are a good thing because it gets you recentered and reminds you about what's important and that you can't take anything for granted. Not that he did look past Zach Martin, but I just think it was probably a good wake up for him. And he's going to get back to doing what he does, which he's pretty good at this year, at winning and going 29-1 up to this point. If we look back at the wrestlebacks here, and we got Hussein and Kakos, Tucker and Finley. I got Kakos winning there, Tucker beating Finley. You get your drop downs, Villarengo, Fritz. We got Cerrito and Quinn wins that and eliminates Cerrito. Leto, Moretti. I got Moretti beating Leto. Lewis beating Moretti. Kokersberger on the drop down after losing the quarters, drops down, beats Quinn. Tucker losing to Fritz. And Villarengo beating Keikos, and that Fritz-Villarengo match can be a good one. These guys are fighting to get in the round to have a chance to go to states. I got Villarengo beating Fritz and Kokersberger beating Lewis. Then Barlow taking out Villarengo, Tobin taking out Kokersberger, Tobin taking third, and then Kokersberger beating Villarengo again and taking fifth place and getting to states. He's been a guy that's always been on the verge his first couple years and first couple trips here, and just has come up short, but I think this is the year that he gets to it. And as I said earlier, this weight class is unique because you got like a lot of it's hard. I don't want to call it a lot of hammers in this weight class, but you got a lot of guys that can go out and win matches, can score points, tough to score upon, and then there's a lot of balance going through. You got like 6-7 good kids in this weight class that all could find themselves on the podium. These are how I think it's going to shape out top 6. I've been wrong before, but I really like the depth we have in this weight class. Again, it doesn't have the hammer power that maybe 26 and 20 have, but nevertheless, we got quality depth here, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this weight class shakes out. Whether I'm right or wrong, there's gonna be some good wrestling, especially in these Russellbacks. Tucker and Fritz is gonna be a good one if it happens. Keikos is always a tough out. He's been here 3, maybe 4 times. I'm not positive, but he's been to regionals before, and then being a senior. Lewis, again, he's a guy in Quakertown I've talked about in other previews. He's just going to come out and he's going to wrestle hard. I mean, if anything we've seen this year out of Quakertown, they got guys up and down the lineup just going to come out and battle. So there's going to be some guys disappointed in this weight class that probably coming in with lofty expectations or expectations of getting out, and just because of the solid and consistent depth that we have here in the Southeast region, like I said, there's going to be some upset guys when the dust settles on this weight class. So that's what I got for you. I got England avenging the loss from last week to Martin. Martin finished in 2nd, Tobin finished in 3rd, Chase Barlow in 4th, and Trent Kokersberger finishing in 5th place at 132 pounds in the Southeast Regional Tournament. Stay tuned, more to come. Make sure you're checking them all out. And if you feel up to it, comment on the forum. Again, this is all for good entertainment and something to chatter about on the forum for all you keyboard commandos out there.